This is a Swede Speaks.
It is Thursday, and it's time for this week's episode of Last Week in Islamic Terror. Usually, I upload these videos on Wednesdays, but yesterday was July 4th, so being in the United States right now, I took the day off and celebrated Independence Day. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. On Monday, June 25th, 2018, there were 15 dead and 12 injured, and among those were, in Balad, Somalia, 2 security personnel dead by an al-Shabaab bomb blast. In Babar Tangai, Afghanistan, 9 police officers dead and 3 injured by a Fedayeen suicide bomber. In Lahore, Pakistan, an Ahmadi dead by being shot 3 times in the stomach by Sunni extremists. On Tuesday, June 26th, there were 12 dead and 14 injured, and those were, in Dera Ismail Khan, Pakistan, 1 police officer dead and 1 injured in an Islamist shooting attack. In Farah, Afghanistan, a government official was assassinated by suspected Sharia radicals. In Damboa, Nigeria, 7 dead and 12 injured in a Boko Haram attack. In Ulfo, Cameroon, 3 men dead and 1 woman kidnapped by religious extremists. On Wednesday, June 27th, there were 18 dead and 32 injured, and those were, in Aleppo, Syria, 13 dead and 20 injured by 2 suicide bombers. In Van Laveen, Somalia, 3 local soldiers dead and 7 injured by an al-Shabaab bomb blast. In Mogadishu, Somalia, a guard at a market was shot to death by Islamists. In Bashir, Iraq, 1 dead and 5 injured in an Islamic State attack. On Thursday, June 28th, there were 44 dead and 12 injured, and among those were, in Takhar, Afghanistan, 16 border guards dead and 2 injured by Sunni fundamentalists. In Logar, Afghanistan, 13 elders at a peace conference dead and 4 injured by the Islamic State. In Tel Sharaf, Iraq, 8 Iraqis captured by the Islamic State were found beaten and executed. On Friday, June 29th, there were 118 dead and 4 injured, and among those were, in Banki, Nigeria, 4 refugees murdered at a displaced persons camp by Boko Haram. In Plateau, Nigeria, an additional 98 victims of a Miyetti Allah killing spree were documented. In Mopti, Mali, 6 dead when a suicide bomber detonated at the headquarters of a counter-terrorism force. On Saturday, June 30th, there were 11 dead and 8 injured, and those were, in Makhus, Iraq, 5 dead and 3 injured when the Islamic State set up a fake checkpoint from which they machine-gunned Sunnis. In Marat al-Numan, Syria, 1 dead and 1 injured by a Sunni improvised explosive device. In Ai-Khanum, Afghanistan, 2 police officers dead and 4 injured when Sunni fundamentalists fired at them. In Nangarhar, Afghanistan, 3 school attendants beheaded when Islamic State members burned down a school. And on Sunday, July 1st, there were 46 dead and 79 injured, and among those were, in Blabrin, Niger, 10 border guards dead and 7 injured by a Boko Haram attack. In Sabon Angwa, Nigeria, 6 villagers murdered by Muslim terrorists who also burned down their church. In Jalalabad, Afghanistan, 19 dead and 20 injured when a suicide bomber targeted Sikh and Hindu minorities. So, last week, there were 264 dead and 161 injured. Last month, June 2018, there were 976 dead and 835 injured. This year, so far, there were 5,827 dead and 6,339 injured. And last year, 2017, there were 16,367 dead and 14,360 injured. So, as we can see, there were 264 unnecessary deaths and 161 unnecessary injuries last week, all caused by Islam. The attackers were of different races, skin colors, ethnicities, ages, sizes, but they had one thing in common: Islam. They were all followers of Islam. Islam creates problems, including dead and maimed victims, everywhere where it takes root. As soon as Islam goes from being a very insignificant minority to becoming a visible presence in a society, this is what happens. Islam creates problems in the East. Islam creates problems in the West. Islam creates problems in the North, and Islam creates problems in the South. The root cause of all of this is Islam. That's what we need to understand and address, and I will keep on informing and commenting on this. I will return next week with a new episode of Last Week in Islamic Terror, since, sadly, there has already been some this week too. And let me add that I would be very happy if Islam suddenly turned into a peaceful teaching. That would please me a lot. However, I sincerely doubt that will ever happen, and that's what I have to say about this right now. I would like to thank everyone who supports my work. This is my day job, and if you like what I do, if you think what I do is important, and if you want me to continue, please consider sending me $1 or $2, or 10, or 100. That's always greatly appreciated. And check out my live stream on Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Western European Time, 10 p.m. Central European Time, 11 p.m. Eastern European Time, and midnight further Eastern European Time. So, until next time, have a nice day and God bless.